As any watch enthusiast, I was hunting for this model. And it is a cliche to put this title on the video, but in this case it's relevant, because I took a hit, so you don't have to. Even since the official renders, people started to ask questions on the forums and on social media. I liked it myself, what can I say? The good part is that the model isn't distributed worldwide yet, so you still have a chance to decide or change your mind how you want to spend over 350 euros for this model. Seeing the product package, I instantly had a feeling of déjà vu. And I hoped when I'll open the box to be surprised by the quality of the watch, expecting a different and a better Orient diver. It happens all the time. But what is important to understand, this is not a MAKO 3 successor. This is a side release rather than vertical, with a different purpose in my view. So a heritage release which is inspired from the Orient Star 1964. A recent reissue which was heavily inspired from the 1964 model. And now everything makes more sense, as we can spot the block type of markers and the similar bezel layout engraved on a circular brushing. The faceted hands being borrowed from another Orient Star watch with baton skeletonized hands. And I think with this elegant release, Orient wants to capitalize on the hype of the black base or other popular skin divers rather than follow their diving traditional line. As first impressions, once you pass the standard packaging and the peeling off experience, the watch can be understood only when the bracelet is adjusted and goes on the wrist. Proportions wise, although the watch has 20mm between the lugs, volume wise the bracelet feels to suffocate the watch case. Which is a common mistake from the brands to put a solid bracelet on a skin diver, and this is a pure example. Other than that, this is a correct watch case, it's appealing, it's balanced from the layout perspective, but from the wearability point of view as well. And to address its purpose, clearly this is a diver with loom, 200 meters warp resistance, a unidirectional bezel. But what is missing from those renders published? The loom pip. The watch doesn't have a loom pip. Imagine that. A brand with a known experience in diving watches since 1964 decided to make a Yachtmaster type of bezel without loom. And I don't know about you, but every time I see such a creative watch, I get disappointed. It looks cool with the engraved black triangle and the embossed metallic dots. It's not bad, but it's not a genuine diver. And if you can cope with that, this version comes on different dial colors and straps. And my favorite ones are the purple and the salmon dial, both coming on a leather strap NATO. They all come on the same case design with the same hands and the same colored seconds hands, excepting for the dial color. However, for the review I choose the black dial version with a bracelet because I believe has the biggest coverage within the enthusiasts. As specifications, the watch measures 39.9mm in diameter with 46.5mm as lug tip to lug tip, 13mm in height, 20mm between the lugs, and weighs 160 grams with the bracelet unadjusted. As appearance, you have to know that the watch is compatible with the small size divers like the Tudor Black by 58, even the 54. The watch has a unidirectional bezel with 120 clicks without a loom pip, has a screw-down crown which ensures 200 meters war resistance, and a flat sapphire crystal. Inside we have the in-house caliber F6722. It's been referred as the self-winding upgrade caliber with 22 joules, 28600 VPH and 40 plus hours power reserve with a promised accuracy between -15 seconds and +25 seconds. The price is between 350 and 400 euros, depending if you buy it from an official dealer or in pre-order. And moving to the dial, we have what to see here, that's for sure. For the first time, Orient gave up on adding sword, arrow or sharpened hands in combination with rectangular markers and triangles. I think this MAKO 40 dial is clean, it is more legible and well balanced. And although they kept the same handwritten texts, they don't look that bad in relationship with the imposing volumes of the hands and the markers. So less noise. Interesting, the surface is like an orange peel as texture. It's matted, but when exposed to the sun the dial offers a radial brown accents, so it gets a bit reflective. The metallic outline markers are different in size and shape. We have trapezoid shapes on the cardinal points with the oversized one at 12 o'clock, with secondary rectangular markers and the classic spacing at 3 o'clock hosting the date window. And then looking at the hands I was mentioning, they are inspired from the Orient Star models, with a skeletonized base and loom in the superior part. So, besides the white part of the loom, the hands chromatically match the metallic markers. And as designed, the hands are highly polished, having 3 facets, meaning that the brilliance of the highly polished will reflect in any angle, and that's pretty cool. The loom, as I mentioned, it's not present on the bezel, so no pip. The loom in this case is not that strong and fades quicker. After a while, the cardinal markers alongside the hands are remaining more visible than the secondary ones. The case doesn't have too much personality. It's an ergonomic case with short lugs, which serves very well as a support for the decorated bezel. We have a typical small polished chamfer that separates the side polish facet from the brushed top one. It's not so much brushing on the case except for the lugs, because the rest of it is being covered by the bezel. And as size perception, because the bezel insert is metallic, the watch looks smaller, because only the dark dial is perceived. So the combo of the brush case with a highly polished outer bezel with those scallops and a circular brush bezel offers a premium view. And unlike other MAKO divers, I like the precision of the coinage pattern and the way it's combined with those scallops, which are trimming with accuracy from the bezel insert. And Orient finally did a great thing. They made the bezel action tight and a bit more accurate. So there is quite a substantial difference now between the 40mm version and the classic MAKOs. So with these small tweaks, Orient succeeded to get rid of those traditional designs. I was talking in the Orient Solar Panda Chrono review about their lack of sharpness in the cases in the bezels, but this model really looks more precise and modern. And then we have to address the unfortunate relationship between the case and the bracelet. I mean, the case shape is nice and compact. The bracelet this time, and unlike the 41mm MAKO, starts with 20mm between the lugs with hollow end links. That's fine. But sadly without a taper, which I think is the same as the bigger watches with 22mm between the lugs, so a standard Orient bracelet, nothing new. So if you really love a different dial color referring to the salmon or the purple dial, do not think necessarily to get the bracelet version, because there is no value here. However, with a nice rubber strap, the watch head has value and really looks good on the wrist. With a black tropic style, a white one or an ATO, the watch pops and brings value by its own compared to the suffocating bracelets. And its wearability and comfort, because the case it's reduced lug to lug and the lugs are falling downwards, the case looks very good on the wrist. And despite its pipless bezel, I think this model still will be successful for the brand, because it captured a lot of attention from the enthusiasts, and at the end of the day, it's not an ugly watch. For me, it's a keeper. I think the brand made an interesting combo between a vintage design with modernized elements cased into a compact size, which results into a better MAKO for sure. But how about you? What do you think about this new MAKO in 40mm? Please let me know in the comments below. And as usual, if you're new around, please consider subscribing for future episodes. Thank you very much. Thanks for watching, and until next time. Be brave, Paul. Stay safe.